Yes, we are here live on Scrimba YouTube again, and I'm joined, as you can see, by Florin Pop. Very exciting to have you here, Florin. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited also.
Yeah, looking forward to talking to you about making money in tech. Q&A is open, so leave your questions for Florin in the chat. Looking forward to hearing all about them. And we will also be looking at Florin's weekly web dev challenge that he made. And that will be exciting. And talking about the next stream, also featuring Florin. Oh dear, the horn scared Denny's dogs. Oh dear. Yes, it was a little bit loud actually. Michael R says, hello. Calco says, we've got this. I hope you're right. So yes, thank you all for tuning in. You can see around here some ideas of what Florin may be talking about. So let's get into it if you're ready, Florin.
Yeah, sure.
Great stuff. So a bit of background, I suppose. Can you tell us about your route into tech and how you first started making money in the field?
Yeah, sure. So I started coding back in 2013, roughly. I had just like experiences in high school with C, but it was just like very basic. So that maybe it doesn't count. So let's just say 2013. And I went on freelancer.com was the website. I think they're still live nowadays, if I'm not wrong. I haven't checked in a long time. And I saw that there were a lot of projects, small projects, big projects, and I applied. And somehow someone picked me. And I think the first gig I got was a non-programming gig. I had to do. I think I had to buy something from someone because they already bought it in some kind of a game, and they paid me, and it was a funny gig. But then I got the first coding gig. It was converting a design to HTML and CSS.
All right.
And I already had some experience with HTML, CSS building websites, very basic websites. And yeah, that was really nice. I wasn't forced to find gigs because I was finishing my high school and I was getting to college, so nobody expected me to make any money. But it was a nice thing that it opened up a lot of possibilities. I kept reading about people making money online, not necessarily through coding, but just in general. And it was intriguing to me to see, let's see if I can make this.
Yeah, that is awesome. Shriyans asks, what is the name of your YouTube channel? I will now find it.
Yeah, it's Florin Pop, it's my name.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm going to attempt the challenge to build 10 apps using vanilla JavaScript.
Oh, I thought that was you talking live, but it was you talking in the video.
That's my 10 hours.
Wow. 10 projects in 10 hours.
That's my crazy challenge.
Yeah. So here is Florin's YouTube. Go and check it out. Ram says, my favorite topic.
Yeah.
Money. Woohoo. Yeah. What was the website you started with then, this design you had to turn into HTML and CSS?
I think if I remember correctly, it was a PDF sort of. I think they did the design in the PDF. It was a form. I don't remember. It was 8 years ago, so I don't remember exactly. But roughly, I remember it was a PDF or some kind of a format like that. And they wanted me to convert it to HTML and CSS to have the layout.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Way to get started. Yeah. So recently, you've released an ebook about making money in tech. And before I forget, I will share the link to it because you have very kindly given us 20% off. I will. Okay. There's the link you can use to get 20% off the ebook. What can you tell us about this ebook, Florin?
So I wanted to create a digital product for a while to see if it works for. I like to try out things, and this book kind of talks about what I've tried over the years. So I've been freelancing, then I had a job, then I created a digital product. I had a YouTube channel, a blog, and this book also talks about building a SaaS, even though I haven't written the chapter. It has 10 chapters, and 2 of them I had some friends help me with it because they were more experienced. So I thought that it will provide more value.
Oh, cool.
But it basically goes over these 10 chapters: open source, creating a course. There's the table of contents. So working as a professional developer, even though I haven't focused too much on it, because that's that's what majority of developers do to earn as developers. Then freelancing, blogging, having a YouTube channel, live coding, mentoring, creating courses, digital products, open source, and software as a service. Out of these 10, I did 9, more or less, not necessarily of the higher scale, I'd say. But I doubled with everything, and I just put everything I knew in this ebook.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be very useful. Dave says he discovered you when you were coding MongoDB challenges, most of which he still doesn't understand. But Florin definitely helped.
Yeah, I'm glad that it was helpful.
Yeah. Question here from Farty. Do you think it's getting harder to find freelancer jobs every day since there are more devs than before?
Yeah, I actually think it's harder. Even when I started 8 years ago, I know that was a competition back then. It wasn't easy, especially when you started out, because my main focus when I started out, because I didn't need the money that much, my main focus was to build a reputation, to have good reviews. So I only accepted the projects I really knew I could finish, do a good job. Now I haven't. So I think there are multiple ways to freelance as a developer. Like, you can go on freelancing sites and bid on projects, or you could just go around and ask people if they need a website or they need something built, right? I've took the first path. I haven't really tried the second one because after I started freelancing, I worked in a company, so I didn't have to find clients. And then once I had a YouTube channel and my blog, people reached out, so I didn't have to find gigs. But I think it's harder nowadays because there are a lot of people. But at the same time, this hard part will push you to become a better developer. Will push you to learn more soft skills, to learn how to sell yourself, to differentiate yourself of other developers. Like, why would someone pick you instead of picking someone else? And it's a good thing. It will make you a better developer. Might be harder, but I don't think it's impossible. You just might have to work a bit more and spend more time. I remember at the beginning, I was always, so on these freelancing sites, there was a pop-up at the bottom left whenever a new gig was posted. So I was just waiting on the site for, I don't know, hours probably, just because there were a lot of gigs posted. So I was just clicking on them and saying, okay, can I do this? I cannot. If I felt that I could do it, I would apply. And with time, I got accepted, and I got more reviews, and then it was easier for me to get better projects and better clients.
So the first ones are obviously the hardest. Yeah. Can
Yeah,
you remember the name of the site? Jumpstart Code.
Freelancer.com was back then. Yeah, I think now to Freelancer.com and Upwork, Fiverr. I haven't tried Fiverr. I moved from Freelancer.com to Upwork, and then Fiverr. Now I think there is a site, people per hour or pay per hour or something like that. I've heard about it. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly the name, but you can try. And what I've heard from friends of mine who are freelancing is that you could like see in your area what are the companies who would need a website, or maybe they have a website but it's not fast enough. It doesn't look that good. You can reach out and just maybe the first websites you do it for free to get exposure or to get like experience, and then you can charge. There are a lot of ways, and it's definitely it's possible.
That's what Denny says. Gary Simon said it's better to get freelance gigs from local businesses because online it can be a race to the bottom.
I agree. I agree. Although I haven't tried it personally, but I definitely agree. For example, here in Romania, I've read that in 2019, there were 50% of businesses in Romania didn't have a website. So imagine the opportunity you had as a web developer. Like you can reach out to companies, and of course you had to prove them why they need a website, right? Because like maybe most of them do offline businesses and they have a store or something, like a physical store, but still you could reach out and help them. And
just approach people. Question from Marta: do you think devs will get less jobs now that there's so many easy platforms that everyone can use for websites and design?
So devs will get less jobs, that there are so many easy. Well, I think, as I said, it will be hard if you like don't evolve and just don't get better. But if you differentiate yourself and you like prove that okay, you can do a better job and a quality job, then I think it's you'll do well. I mean, I have friends who make 6 digits a year freelancing. So I always was thinking, if someone can do it, I mean, we can at least try, right?
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think there are tools that can help you to build a website, but at least from what I've seen so far, they're not going to do as good of a job as a person would. So, definitely. Ole, any tips about applying for a job in a different country? So not remotely, with relocation.
That's interesting. From my experience, I got a lot of requests on LinkedIn for relocation. So maybe try to create a nice LinkedIn profile. And what I did, I still remember, this was, I think in 2014 or 2015, I was kind of spamming connections on LinkedIn. I was just connecting with everybody, because there is that counter on LinkedIn where it says 500 plus connection. So once you reach 500, up to 500, it says 2,265 or something like that. But after 500, you get the plus, and that just it kind of felt like, okay, you know a lot of people now. And I connected with a lot of recruiters, with CEOs, with all the developers, and it paid off over the years. I think 2 of my biggest clients or my biggest jobs were through LinkedIn, and they reached out. And that's just because I had my LinkedIn profile was decent. It wasn't probably perfect. I didn't spend months to make it perfect, but I spent a couple of days or weeks to make it look decent, and I got the projects. It was nice.
Yeah, We have had Danny Thompson talking about LinkedIn on here. Hopefully, Michael, if he's still there, can drop the link in the chat. And one of his recommendations was also to get that 500 plus if you can. But yeah, after this, feel free to check it out to get some more tips from Danny. Very useful stream.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you for those tips. Very good. Wow, so many questions. How did you code 100 projects in 100 days? Wow, you're amazing.
I get really motivated by challenges. Even now, as I've been going through a rougher time and I want to come back on YouTube and creating videos, now I'm trying to come up with a challenging idea so it will get me going. I did a bunch of crazy ideas, 100 projects, 100 days. I finished the Free Code Camp curriculum in a month. I did tons of live streams. I get excited by doing stuff which I kind of feel like it's not necessarily very hard, but it needs consistency, and it gets me going.
So setting yourself a kind of goal, a challenge is what motivates you. Interesting. Yeah. One of the ways of making money that you talk about in your ebook is blogging. We have a question from Ram here. Any tips on how to succeed in technical blogging when it comes to making money? Have you tried it? If yes, then how was your experience?
Yeah, so I started blogging. First, I started blogging 2017, but it was like 7 blog posts, and then I gave up. I mean, not necessarily gave up, but I got caught up in all the. I think I got my my React.js job at the company, so I kind of dropped the blog. But then in 2019, I started again, and I was consistent at it. I was posting 2-3 times a week. I was sharing, I was spamming a lot. Don't tell anyone. And Reddit and all those communities.
Yeah.
I needed to get people to see, because if you do something and nobody sees it, then it's, well. But yeah, and then slowly I started to get requests to write for other publications. I think my first request, let me see, it was 2-3 months in after I started blogging again. And I was offered $50 to write an article, something like that, very small, but like really fast. I think in a span of 2 months or so, that $50 went up to $300, and then $500. And that really pushed me to realize that, okay, there's a need for something like this. Even though I haven't written a lot of sponsored articles and articles for other publications, I saw that, okay, it's possible. And regarding what Ram asked, you can reach out to. There are a lot of publications who need writers because they make money from these articles. Like, people come to read their articles on the publication, so they need writers. There is even, I think 2 days ago, I saw another blog post about 20 or so publications who will pay you to write for them. So you can just Google it, technical publications be paid, something like that, and reach out to them. Send them some examples of what you've written before. And that could be a good way to start. But I'd say that start your own blog. Use Medium, use Dev2, use Hashnode. These are all platforms you can get in front of an audience. And then, follow the big names in the blogging industry in tech. I mean, people who already do this and do this successfully, like my friend Katalin Pitt, he does this and he makes good money from writing technical blogs.
Yeah. And how about, do you have any tips for choosing what topics to write about? How did you choose your topics?
Right at the beginning, especially if you're learning, I'd say everyone should document their learning experience, because this will turn out to be so good in time. Just you've learned something today, just write it down. It doesn't have to be very sophisticated. It can be just bullet points of, I've learned, I don't know, Flexbox and this CSS attribute and whatever. And then try to go more in depth. Try to imagine that you're teaching someone the thing you've learned. That will force you to learn the topic more in depth. And it will give you more experience to write. And just write about what you like. Because, I mean, probably some people could do this, but I can't force myself to do something I don't enjoy. It's really hard for me to just push through. Sometimes I can, but most of the times I just do things which I enjoy. So I'd say if you find the topic you're learning about JavaScript, great. Just write what you're learning. And I get this question a lot, like, should I write articles? There are so many articles out there. Yes, because you have your own perspective.
Yeah.
You also resonate more with people who are at your level, because I don't know, maybe me as a developer or someone more experienced has 15 years of JavaScript, right? Or I don't know how many years, but he or she will write on another level, maybe more in depth. And for someone who comes into the JavaScript world, it won't resonate with them. It will be just what he's talking about, right? But you're just starting out, and a lot of people are starting out now. So then you can really speak to their level, and it's much more powerful. Do it. And
I totally agree. I think it was Ali Spittle I heard recently on a stream answering a similar question. And she said, everyone has a unique way of explaining things. And you might have that one way that someone finally understands something that they haven't understood before. So yeah, definitely. So now we talked a bit about your blogging side of things. Would you like to tell us about your YouTube, how that got started and how you got it going? Because you've recently got the 100K subscribers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I don't think it's been going that long, if I'm correct.
I started in 2019, November 2019.
Yeah. So less than 2 years.
Almost 2 years, yeah. It was a challenge for me because as probably people guessed, I'm not a native English speaker, so it was weird for me to to speak English. I mean, I'm okay with reading and writing, and now I'm better at speaking, probably. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it was a challenge. I wanted to try it out. It wasn't something I was like from the start. I really wanted to do this and get 100,000 subscribers. No way. I just wanted to see if it's something I'd like to do. I still remember the first video I created. It was a 4-minute long video, and it took me 8 hours to do.
Yeah. I can believe that.
Yeah. And then, so this was in November, and then I think till the end of the day, end of the year, I uploaded like 13 videos or so, 13 videos, something like that. And I started to like it. It was exciting because I had a small audience on Twitter back then. I mean, a medium-sized audience, I'd say 7, 8, 10K, something like that. So I had a push on my YouTube channel. I got the first 1,000 subscribers in a month or something like that. So that was nice to see the growth. And then when 2020 hit, I think even before in December 2019, I said, okay, next year, my big goal will be to get to 100,000 subscribers.
Wow.
So I just started the year and then I went all in. I made close to 250 videos and live streams, something like that in 2020.
Wow. That is a
And
lot.
yeah. And this was mostly in the first half, because in the second half I was kind of burnt out doing so many live streams and videos, and it worked out well.
So do you think it was the volume of videos and content that increased the subscriber count so much, or was it something else that did it for you?
It was probably multiple factors. It was also the volume, also the challenges side. So I started the year by making 31 videos in 31 days, because that's how many days were in January. Then I made the second month, I started the Free Code Camp curriculum challenge, where I was going live and did all the challenges there. Then I went on the Free Code Camp YouTube channel. I did there a couple of videos. And the biggest thing, so the biggest, the video which got me the most subscribers and the fastest growth was the 10 projects in 10 hours challenge, which funny enough, I got that idea in the morning while I was running. I went running and I got, how crazy would it be to make 10 projects in 10 hours? People would like that. And I was thinking, and I went home, I took a shower, and I went live, and I just did it. I mean, I had nothing planned before that. And that single video got me from 30,000 subscribers to 60,000 in a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it doubled my channel in a month. And since then, it was kind of a normal growth, nothing extraordinary.
Yeah, it's just that one video or stream that could make all the difference.
Yeah, but like everything kind of led up to that moment, because I got all this. I was doing live streams, so I had experience doing live streams. I had experience with YouTube. I knew kind of how it works. And this video got picked up by the algorithm, and it got me in front of more people. But definitely consistency pays off. And you never know when you get a great idea and it just works. So
inspiration can come in the most unexpected places.
Exactly.
Caleb asks, what do you think about remote jobs? From where I am, it's very hard to get a job.
I only had, over the past 8 years, I only had one part-time job where I was on site. That was for like 8 months. And except that I was working remotely. This was one of my conditions to work for a company. I wanted to work remotely. I think now, especially because of the COVID and everything, everyone had to work from home. I think the companies are more open to remote work. Now, I don't know exactly in all the countries, but I just say reach out to companies and just tell them you want to work and prepare. Go to interviews and see what they need. Find out what a company would need and learn those skills. And I think it's possible. Now, probably not in all countries. I don't know every country in the world, how that works and how is the legal system. Like if you can work for companies from other countries and how can you charge them and all that, what's the entire process. But I think it should work.
I think on LinkedIn, in the location, when you're using the job search, you can actually choose a remote. So have a look on there. YRS says, it's difficult after reaching some level in web development. You just get stuck on JS. Any tips for continuing and easy learning?
Easy learning. Now, depends. Easy, it's hard to to see. Everyone has a different definition of easy, right? I'd say to try to build projects you enjoy, and building projects you'll find the need to learn new skills, and you'll research. Okay, let's see. I need to work with an API. Okay, how do I do this? And then you go on YouTube or find a course and You watch how someone does it, and then you use the knowledge in your own project. That's how I personally do it. For example, I had to recreate my blog, and I wanted to recreate it with Next.js. All right, okay. I don't know anything about Next.js, but let's see. Is a tutorial on the internet someone who's building a Next.js blog? Yes, there are hundreds probably. I just follow like 4 or 5 to see what are the different pieces people put together. And then I had my own Next.js blog. And now I'm not expert in Next.js, but like I know enough to get started and work my way up there. So
yeah, great tips. Always do something you're enjoying. Dave says consistency is key. Totally.
Yep, definitely.
Darissa, I'm late. I had to deal with a snake in my hallway first.
Well, be careful.
Was it your snake or a snake from somewhere else? Intriguing. It's a little bit worrying. Hamid, really great stream. Is it recorded later for download? Yes, all of our past streams are available on the Scrimba YouTube channel. So, totally. Which question should we go next? So many. That's an interesting one, actually. Which social media platform should we focus initially to upload content targeted towards a specific audience? And there's some examples: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Yeah.
At the beginning might be hard to pick one. What I would say is to try them all, like create some content and push it on all platforms and see which one you like most, which one you get, which one you see you start to grow on, and then focus on that platform. For example, when I started, I posted on Twitter, and then I also tried Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, and then my YouTube channel. And over the time, I noticed that Twitter was better for me, and obviously YouTube. So I kind of gave up on Instagram and LinkedIn. I stick with Twitter. Because I've seen people grew on Instagram too, or on LinkedIn too. Developers who do pretty much what I do, like share content and build projects and share their experience. But didn't work for me. I don't know. It's a matter of trying and seeing what works for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Which might be a similar answer for this. Study web development. Do you suggest niching down? Yeah. So I suppose, should you choose your own narrow niche or stick to more general content?
Yeah. Thanks, Kyle, for the question. I'd say yes, especially at the beginning. Try to niche down and get very good at something. And then over time, you'll kind of have to, you'll see that you kind of, have to learn other skills to complement the main skill you have. And you'll learn new things. For me, this is how it was for me too. I was very good at converting designs to HTML and CSS. That was my main thing. But then I figured out, okay, now if I want to do something more, I might need to learn JavaScript to add functionality. Because, okay, some clients would need only HTML CSS sites because they have their own developers to build the functionalities. But if I learn that, I can charge more and I can be more valuable to the clients. So that's what I did. And then I've learned how to, sell myself and how to get more clients and how to create content. And slowly I've learned new things.
Yeah. So I suppose that kind of leads on to my next question, which was, not that one, this one. What would you say are the minimum skills needed to start making money in tech? Is it ever too early? So your first project was just HTML and CSS, and that seemed to be enough.
Yeah. I honestly don't know if if we think about it, are there websites out there with only HTML and CSS? Yes. So It might be harder to find someone who would pay you only for the skills, because most of the times they'll need. So if someone who doesn't have any knowledge in web development, they'll need skills. They'll need someone to do design for them, the website, the hosting, the connecting, the e-commerce, maybe all of this, right? But maybe you can find clients. Well, I'm sure you can find clients who only need a static website because they have, I don't know, maybe a doctor who wants to have a personal website to, I don't know, have a address and the times she's working and I don't know, testimonial, something like that. She wouldn't need to have an e-commerce because you just call her and make an appointment, right?
Mm.
So yeah, I think you could start with bare minimum. Even, well, we can use WordPress and you can do sites without knowing any HTML and CSS. You just get a template. And my cousin was working for someone and he started learning WordPress. He doesn't know anything about coding, and he built a site. I mean, yeah, it took him more time than it maybe took the next expert, but like he did it. So
yeah. Great tips. Yeah. And how about the non-technical side of things? You've mentioned marketing yourself was a big one. Well, how did you get good at that, I suppose? And what other soft skills have you needed?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't remember like purposely looking to get good at soft skills. It just kind of happened. For example, I still remember my first, I think was the first interview or the second interview. I don't remember exactly the number, but it was online. It was on Skype. And I had to, like, they reached out to me to build the website for them. And they asked me, okay, what do you know? What did you do so far? And they asked me all these questions, like, okay, why should we hire you and stuff like that, you know? And I was like really shy. I didn't know what to say. I was like, I thought, I mean, if you want to hire me, I mean, whatever. I don't know. I kind of didn't know how to sell myself, right? I was just pointing out the things I wasn't good at, and I was scared to take on the challenge. And the guy was really, really nice. At the end of the interview, just told me, look, you need to learn how to sell yourself. Like, focus on pointing out the things you know how to do, and you know how to do them well, right? And that for me was a turning point. I just was like, that's a really nice tip. And starting from that moment, whenever I was going to interviews, I just highlighted the things I was good at. You know, do you know React? Well, I started learning. I'm not that good at it, but I did this and this and this in JavaScript. So, you know.
Yeah, and focus on what you can do.
Yeah. I think I watched I've read some articles on negotiating and on how to write a proposal and stuff like that, but like not actively researched it. It was over time. I got experience by actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of articles out there where they go in depth of what you could learn. And
yeah, all comes with experience, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is there anything that you've bought or paid for, so courses or equipment maybe, which has improved your ability to make money in tech? So what's worth investing in, I suppose?
I'd say the biggest investment with the highest return of investment is investing in yourself. I bought courses, I paid mentors, I joined communities, paid communities, I joined programs, I bought books, and not only like on the tech side. I also learned about finances and personal development and everything in this package. And yeah, I just like the past month or so, I spent over $1,000 on courses and a program I wanted to learn about investing, and I just, instead of, you can learn on YouTube. I learn a lot of things on YouTube all day. I'm watching YouTube videos and stuff. But when it comes to me wanting to get serious into a topic, I'd rather reach out to an expert in the field, and I just say, you know what, how much is it for me to talk 2 hours with you? $200, of course, I'll pay it, and I'm happy to, because they kind of have the knowledge over the years. Or this guy I was talking to, he has 10 years of experience in investing. So, I mean, I have 10 years, but I'd much rather talk with him and get his experience in a short period, like a couple of calls. And I learn faster. And this is what I do with pretty much anything I want to learn really good. I start with researching on YouTube to see, okay, what people talk about it and who are the experts in the field. And then if I want to get really serious about it, just buy their courses, buy their books, and eventually reach out and get mentoring from them.
Interesting. So are they always advertising mentoring, or do you sometimes just approach them anyway and then they will do it?
It depends. Some people don't. For example, here in Romania was a guy who's really good at the business side. He's a business coach, and he built a business. I think they had 2 million euros in revenue a year, something like that. And like, the guy really knows what he's talking about. And I reached out to him and I said, okay, look, I'd like to talk with you an hour or something. I have some questions. And he said, I don't have time now, but look, you can talk with my CEO, like the CEO of the company. And I think I got her, I don't know, like 10 hours or so. And we discussed, and I've learned a lot of things, about myself and why I did what I did. And really, it was really, really nice. And definitely, I got a lot of value from those calls.
Wow, yeah, that's a really interesting thing. I would never have really thought to do that. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's safe. Some people are not cheap, but it pays off because, as I said, you get a lot of knowledge in a short period. It's very packed. You can buy, so you can watch whatever they have free first, or read whatever they post. Then if you want to get more in depth, you can buy their courses, ebooks, programs, whatever. And then if you want to go next level, I would just work with them and try to get them directly.
Yeah, that's true. Mostly they will have some free resources available that you can check out first. Carla is asking, could you share your books and courses? Maybe you already have a post about it somewhere. Off the top of your head, can you remember some of the ones you used?
Yeah, so when it comes to tech, like when I learned coding and stuff, I used YouTube. I used back then when I started coding, it was Code Academy. I mean, they still are now, I think. For coding, you have Scrimba now. You can learn coding, so that's great. Books. I have a ton of books, 200 books or so. But then there are all sorts of topics: personal development, finance. I don't have a lot of coding books. I think they go outdated very fast. I don't have anything in my mind right now. Platforms, I've joined platforms here in Romania for business side. It's a platform, Prizers, which I joined for 3 years now. And I've learned selling and negotiating and all sorts of business related things. When I started YouTube, I bought a book about how to create a successful YouTube channel. YouTube Secrets, I think it was called. I don't have anything exactly. It depends on what topic you want to learn on, but yeah.
Yes. So, in your view, what are the most overlooked ways in which people can make money in tech?
Well, I think as in my book, there are 10 ways. All of them are viable ways to make money. Now, it really depends on what would you like to do. I'd say give them all a try. For example, after I published my book, some people were like, "Can you make money through open source?" Yes, of course. There are some really big companies who make a lot of money through open source. Like they have their code is open source, but they have, I don't know, maybe extra features which are paid, or they have another product which is more compact, and they have, like a software as a service, SaaS business, and built with the project, or they get sponsorships. There's so many ways. And the nice thing about this is that when you, for example, you start blogging or you start a YouTube channel, the first way you could try to make money is like putting ads, right? That's a sure way. Like if you get views, you make some money, but it's like so little money, not especially at the beginning. But then you can have affiliate links. Like, I don't know, you have a tech blog and you write about coding, and you can reach me out and I'll give you an affiliate link for my book. Someone buys my book through your blog, you can make income from that. Or there are so many products which have affiliate links. Then when you grow and you see that, okay, your audience wants to learn about a certain topic, you can build a product for that particular problem they have. This is how I wrote my book. I haven't seen a book on like making money. What are the different ways? And I liked the topic, so I wrote the book, and I think so far it made 22,000, which is for a couple of 200 hours probably.
Not bad.
It will. I also watched a lot of YouTube videos and read articles, and over time you develop the mindset, and you find ideas, and you see opportunities, and it's nice.
Yeah. Are there any pitfalls to making money in tech? And is there a money-making route you'd advise against? So have you tried anything which basically didn't end up well, and you'd advise people to avoid that?
I don't think I tried something I wouldn't advise people to try. I would say that before, money shouldn't be the main reason you do something. It should be throughout these 8 years, I always saw that if I provide value, more value and better value, I'll get more money out of it. So for my freelancing gigs, at the beginning, I had to, I don't know, maybe it was $50 for a project. And then I got it up to $500 for the project, because I did it faster, I did it better, I did it, I don't know, I had more experience, I had reviews. So I'd say, money is a tool. Don't make it just for the sake of it. And figure out why would you need money. Okay, a lot of people want to be a millionaire, but why? Is it really, you really need $1 million? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Find out how much money you make. For example, the first thing you should do is track your expenses. See, okay, I need $2,000 a month, or $1,000, or $5,000 a month to have a lifestyle you currently have. Track everything. Then you would need exactly how much money you need per month. This is what I did. This is what we did in family, actually, with my wife since we got married. We wrote down every expense. I bought a pen, I wrote down 50 cents. We bought a car, we wrote down, I don't know. And in a year, we had a sum. We divided that by 12. And we knew exactly how much money we need per month. And then we had an easier, I could I could say no to things which I didn't have to take just for the sake of it, for example, I don't know, I could negotiate. I could say, okay, look, I need this amount because that's how much we need per month. So it was more, how can I say, like, it's better to know what you need exactly. That way you can easily negotiate or like look on opportunities which will pay the amount you need.
Yeah, that's a really good tip. On the topic of money, well, the whole thing's on the topic of money, but specifically, I suppose the downsides. Has anything turned out to not be lucrative when you thought it would pay off?
Well, yeah, I don't think I had a project. Like, for example, my ebook, this is roughly the amount I was kind of planned to make with it. We have the course with Brett Travers. He did way more than we expected. Probably, yeah, my YouTube channel, the ads revenue from the YouTube channel is not the greatest, like $400 a month, $500 now. It's not something you can live off of. But at the same time, like if you, for example, on YouTube, it's not only about the ads revenue. There are multiple ways you can make money on YouTube, like having sponsorships or having affiliate links or selling your own product. And that could add up to a better sum, and that could be lucrative too. I didn't spend like a lot of time into a project and without getting my time's worth out of it. Yeah, I had a ton of side projects which I spent a day or two and they died, but like on big projects, usually it worked out well. I also want to try now to maybe someday, actually, I want to try out to building a SaaS to see how that works out. Maybe that will be the non-lucrative. I'll try, but so far it was decent.
Yeah, good news. Going back to blogging quickly, George asks, if we start a blog, how many posts should we write per week? How many do you have on your blog per week?
I started out with 3 posts per week, but like soon I think I had like 2 per week, and then 1, and then none. What I advise people to do, it doesn't really matter how many. Well, of course, if you can put out more, it will be more content, but you should pick something which can work for a long time, like minimum a year, 2 years, 3 years. So pick a schedule and stick to the schedule for the long time, because like you can put out, I did once on my YouTube channel 24 videos in 24 hours. That was a crazy challenge I did. I uploaded every hour. Of course, I recorded them and then I uploaded. I think I recorded them in 2 days and then I uploaded them in 24 hours, which was okay. But at the same time, I ended up annoying some of my subscribers because it was so much. And it didn't got the traction I expected to. But there are YouTube channels who post videos like once every day. Or there are some who post once a month or once a week. The same with blogging. Just find something which works for you and try to be consistent. Because like showing up at the same time, for example, there's my friend Flavio who has a big blog, flaviocopes.com. He sends an email every Tuesday. So I know that every Tuesday I get an email from Flavio. And probably everyone knows that. And that's like good because it kind of builds in your audience mind that, okay, this Tuesday I get something from Flavio. I'm expecting it. And they'll read it. And
And what were the posts on? So was it JavaScript centered or more general than that?
I build projects. I was showing how to build different projects. in Java with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or React, or it mostly was about that.
Lovely. Speaking of JavaScript, that tied nicely in. This is your weekly web dev challenge you have made for us this week. Very cool. A tip calculator, a purple one. And it's called the weekly web dev challenge, but this week there are actually 2 weeks to do it because I'm not here next week. Well, I am here. I'm not working next week. Yes, so you've still got plenty of time to have a go at this challenge if you would like to do that. And next week, Florin will be back without me solving the challenge right here on this channel and some of the other past weekly web dev challenges. So do tune in for that. And what we can do is have a look at some of the submissions that have already come in. Loads of them. So yeah, here are the ones as of about 11 o'clock this morning. Looking cool. Got this little glass morphic one here. Very nice. Some emojis. This is quite good actually. You can select the tip amount based on your experience. So I guess that's 0. Yeah, it's 0.
Yeah.
So 5, 20. Very handy.
Awesome.
Yeah, nice. What else do we have? A nice green one. And oh, this one's quite interesting.
Whoa.
Yeah, nice little layout. You can clear it, you can split it. It does it all. So yeah, when you submit your solution, it will be loaded onto here for everyone to check out and eventually vote for, but not yet, on the 28th. Yeah, so that is fantastic. Any more? Oh, that link didn't work. I don't know why. I think Twitch doesn't like too many links or something because it keeps telling me, no, you can't share that.
Probably.
Yeah, never mind. Oh, a last question to finish up with from Data Dev. Has COVID-19 changed making money in tech? Also, the book is very informative. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I think the COVID-19 changed ways, but like they switched. Some departments grew during the pandemic, and some didn't. Like I don't know, restaurants died, and like you couldn't go out, so those businesses didn't work well. But like I don't know, Zoom grew a lot and stuff like that online. Courses were better. And I think this is what happens all the time with all like major, how do you call them, like financial situations, like when you have, we had in 2018 also a crisis. So money doesn't disappear. It just moves from a side to another side, and you have to be open to see the opportunities which arises. But yeah, that's what I've learned and experimented. For me personally, in 2000, it didn't affect much because I was doing content and it was fine. Some people lost their jobs, and that wasn't good. But yeah, I think you could get other jobs which were in a department which were rising during COVID. So yeah.
Yes, very true. Yes. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Florin. It's been extremely interesting talking to you. And I will put the link to your ebook once again in the chat. This is with 20% off from Florin. So yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. It was really good.
Yes, lovely. And you will be back next week solving your challenge. So looking forward to that. Yes. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for coming. I hope you will join Michael and I on Friday, where we will be solving this challenge. Actually, that should be very interesting. I've still got a question here. Yeah, get rid of that. Okay. Yes. Well, thanks again, Florin, and I'll speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.